All right, everyone, today we're going to study comparative and superlative adjectives. These are very important because we use them all the time when we compare people, animals, objects, places, or experiences. If you want to describe differences or similarities, this grammar is essential. Let's start with comparative adjectives. We use comparatives when we compare two things. The basic structure is noun plus verb, comparative adjective plus, then plies noun. For example, a tiger is bigger than a cat, or dolphins are more intelligent than sharks. In both examples, we compare two animals. We also use comparative adjectives to describe change over time. For example, he is happier now, or the weather is getting colder. Here, we are not comparing two objects directly, but we are showing that something has changed. Now let's look at how we form comparative adjectives. For short adjectives with one syllable, we usually add er. For example, fast, faster, old, older. So we can say, a cheetah is faster than a goat, or my dog is older than my kitten. If the adjective ends in one vowel and one consonant, we usually double the consonant before adding For example, big, bigger, or fat, fatter. So we say, a camel is bigger than a donkey, or my puppy is fatter than before. If the adjective ends in I, we change the Y to I and add For example, happy, happier, easy, easier. So we can say, life is easier with a friendly pet, or she looks happier with her new puppy. For longer adjectives, usually with two or more syllables, we use more plus adjective. For example, more beautiful, more interesting, more dangerous. So we can say, butterflies are more beautiful than flies, or a shark is more dangerous than a dolphin. We can also use less plus adjective to make the opposite comparison. For example, this spider is less dangerous than that snake, or penguins are less aggressive than bulls. This structure works with all adjectives. Now let's move to superlative adjectives. We use superlatives when we compare three or more things, and we want to say that one thing has the highest or lowest quality. We usually use the before superlatives. For example, the giraffe is the tallest animal in the zoo, or the mosquito is the most annoying insect here. The spelling rules are similar to comparatives. For short adjectives, we add est, for example, fast, the fastest, old, the oldest. So we can say, the dolphin is the fastest swimmer in this group, or that turtle is the oldest animal in the sanctuary. With adjectives ending in vowel plus consonant, we double the consonant, big, the biggest, fat, the fattest. For example, the whale is the biggest creature in the ocean. With adjectives ending in E, we change the Y to I, happy, the happiest. For example, my dog is the happiest animal in the house. For long adjectives, we use the most plus adjective. For example, the most beautiful, the most intelligent, the most dangerous. So we can say, the parrot is the most colourful bird in the cage, or the tiger is the most dangerous animal in the park. Now let's look at some irregular adjectives, because these do not follow the normal rules. For example, good, better, the best, bad, worse, the worst. So we say, this vet is better than the previous one, or that was the worst documentary about wildlife I've ever seen. Another important one is far, further, farther, furthest, farthest. We also have another useful structure as. We use this when two things are equal in some way. For example, a dolphin is as intelligent as a chimpanzee, or this cage is as large as the other one. In negative sentences, not as means one thing has less of a quality. For example, a goat isn't as tall as a giraffe, or the film wasn't as interesting as I expected. So to finish, remember this. Use comparatives to compare two things and use superlatives to compare one thing with a larger group. Learn the spelling rules carefully, especially for short adjectives, adjectives ending in ioi, and long adjectives with more and most. And don't forget irregular forms like better and worse. With practice, these structures will become natural and very useful in everyday English.